Hello student, I am Nishita. In this video, we are going to discuss important question for TNPSC Assistant Engineer Civil Exam. You can access class PDF from YouTube class notes section on our application. So, if you are preparing for TNPSC Assistant Engineer Civil Exam, you can enroll in our course cover, ebook, question bank, mock test series and test pass feature. Link of our course is provided in description.
So let's begin the question. First question, what is the main binding material used in ordinary concrete? Lime, gypsum, cement, sand. So the answer is cement. Cement acts as binding material that hold aggregate together in concrete. Cement is a basic unit of binding structure. What is cement most commonly used in construction work? White cement, rapid hardening cement, OPC, sulfate resisting cement. So the correct answer is OPC, ordinary Portland cement. Ordinary Portland cement is widely used because it is good strength and ability. The raw material used in cement manufacturing are mainly clay, limestone, sand and gravel, steel and lime, fly ash and gypsum. So the correct answer is clay and limestone. Limestone provide calcium while clay supply silica and alumina. Which compound is responsible for early strength in cement? C3S, C2S, C3A, C4A. So the correct answer is C3S. C3S is responsible for early strength development of concrete, faster hydration reaction, producing more heat during hydration. C3S react quickly with water and form CS4 gel, calcium hydroxide. Which compound contributes to long-term strength? C3S, C2S, C3A, gypsum. So the correct answer is C2S, dicalcium silicate. Dicalcium silicate is mainly responsible for later strength development, slow hydration reaction producing less heat. CS2 react mixed with water when form CSH gel gives strength, less calcium hydroxide compared to C3S. Gypsum is added to cement to increase strength, reduce cost, control setting time, increase color. So the correct answer is control setting time. Gypsum prevents flash setting by controlling the hydration of C3A. The initial setting time of OPC should not be less than 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. So the correct answer is 30 minutes. According to IS standard, initial setting time should be at least 30 minutes. Final setting time of OPC should not exceed 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, 24 hours. So the correct answer is 10 hours. Cement should set completely within 10 hours. It's important because it ensures proper finishing and compaction before hardening, prevent delay in construction work, helps in safe handling of concrete. And various tests are also used to perform like wicket test, wicket apparatus test. Which test is used to determine the consistency of cement? Slump test, wicket test, compression test, soundness test. So the correct answer is wicket test. Wicket apparatus test is used to find standard consistency and setting time. In this, initial and final setting time of cement is defined. Wicket test is used to determine the standard consistency and setting time of cement using the wicket apparatus. The main apparatus used in this is wicket apparatus. Its main parts are movable rod, needle and plunger, wicket mold, glass plate and scale. Fineness of cement affect color only, hydration rate, weight of cement, shape of cement. So the correct answer is hydration rate. Finer cement hydrate faster and gain strength quickly. Hydration rate means the speed at which cement reacts with water. When the water is added to OPC, chemical reaction occur and compound form that gives strength to concrete. This process is only called hydration. Faster hydration means more heat generated. And various factors are also affecting, including this fineness are water cement ratio, temperature, types of cement, admixture, and curing condition. Which cement is suitable for marine structure? OPC, white cement, sulfate resisting cement, quick setting cement. So the correct answer is sulfate resisting cement. It resists sulfate attack present in seawater and soil. Sulfate resisting cement is a special type of Portland sulfate resisting cement designed to resist the sulfate attack on concrete. When concrete is exposed to sulfate rich soil, groundwater, seawater, sewage water. Normal cement may crack and deteriorate due to sulfate attack. Whereas the main property of this cement are it contain low percentage of C3A, that is tricalcium aluminate. Lower C3A is gives better sulfate resistance. With white cement different from OPC mainly because it has more gypsum, it contains less iron oxide, it has higher silica, it contains sand. So the correct answer is it contains less iron oxide. Lower iron oxide content gives white color. That is because it contains very low iron oxide, low magnesia oxide. This compound normally gives grey color to cement. Common use of white cement are also wall finishing, tile grouting, decorative flooring, architectural design, and putty manufacturing. White cement differs from OPC mainly in color, raw material composition, and decorative application. White cement contains very low iron oxide, giving it white appearance. The specific gravity of cement is approximately 1 2.15, 3.155. So the correct answer is 3.15. Specific gravity of cement is the ratio of weight of given volume of cement to the weight of equal volume of water. The standard value for OPC is 3.15. Why it is important? Specific gravity is used for concrete mix design, calculating voids, quality checking of cement, determining density relationship. And there are various tests are used to determine it: picnometer method and Le Chatelier flex method. Which cement gains strength rapidly? Low heat cement, rapid hardening cement, Portland pozzolana cement, or white cement? So the correct answer is rapid hardening cement. Rapid hardening cement is type of cement that gains strength much faster than normal OPC, that is ordinary Portland cement. So it is also called high early strength cement. The properties are where early strength is very high, setting time is similar to OPC, fineness is more finely ground, C3S content is higher than OPC, and heat of hydration is higher. Where it can use are in road repairs, precast concrete work, cold weather concreting, bridge construction, and where early framework removal is needed. Soundnet test of cement checks strength, durability, excessive expansion, water absorption. So the correct answer is excessive expansion. Unsound cement expand after setting and cause crack. The soundness test checks the ability of cement to retain its volume after setting without excessive expansion. In simple words, we can also say that it determines whether the cement will crack or expand after hardening. Why it is important? Unsound cement may cause crack in concrete, expansion, structural damage, reduced durability. And what are the causes of this unsoundness? So causes are excess amount lime, magnesia, sulfate. Now talking about Le Chatelier apparatus is used for which test? It's used for consistency test, fineness test, soundness test, compression test. So the correct answer is soundness test. It measures the expansion and caused by the free lime. In Le Chatelier test procedure, Cement paste is prepared, filled in Lee Chatelier mold, kept in water, heated to boiling. Expansion is measured. Whereas in this equipment used name are Lee Chatelier apparatus and test is called Lee Chatelier test that is used for detecting expansion due to free light. Which cement produce low heat of hydration? OPC, low heat cement, quick setting cement, rapid hardening cement. So the correct answer is low heat cement. Low heat Portland cement is a special type of cement that produce less heat during hydration compared to OPC. Why it is needed? In large concrete structure, excessive heat can cause thermal crack, expansion and construction stresses, reduce durability. Low heat cement minimize these problems. Thus, composition or percentage of C3S, C3A is lower, higher percentages of C2S. Used in dams, large raft foundation, massive retaining wall bridges, massive concrete work, etc. PPC stand for Portland Pozzolana Cement, Portland Plastic Cement, Powder Portland Cement, Pozzolana Plastic Cement. So the correct answer is Portland Pozzolana Cement. Pozzolana cement is a type of cement made by grinding of Portland cement clinker, gypsum, pozzolanic materials such as fly ash, volcanic ash, and calcinite clay. Main question arises, what is pozzolana? Pozzolana material is a material containing silica that reacts with lime in presence of water to form cementitious compound. Which test determine cement strength? So, compressive test, slump test, flow test, abrasion test. So, the correct answer is compression test. Compression test is performed to determine the compressive strength of cement. In this, cement mortar cubes are tested under compression. Apparatus used are compression testing machine, cube mold vibrating machine, and a cement mortar cube size of 70.6 mm into 70.6 mm into 70.6 mm are used. Test cubes are oftenly done after 3 days, 7 days and 28 days, whereas compressive strength formula are maximum load upon loaded area. Cement should be stored in open air, in moist place, in dry condition under sunlight. So, cement should be stored in dry condition. Moisture causes premature hydration and reduced strength. Ordinary Portland cement should be stored in dry, moisture-free and covered places because cement absorbs more quickly from air. Proper storage condition is needed. That is stored in weatherproof shed or godowns. Keep bags of wooden platform, maintain at least 150 to 200 mm of floor and 300 mm above from walls. What is the function of pozzolanic material in cement? Increase setting time, improve durability, reduce color, increase weight. So the correct answer is improve durability. Pozzolanic material improves resistance to chemical and reduce permanently. Its other uses or function are also improve strength, reduce heat of hydration, improve durability, improve workability, utilize industrial waste. Pozzolanic material react with lime and cement to form additional cementitious compound, improving durability, workability and long-term strength while reducing heat of hydration. Which cement is commonly used for decorative work? OPC, white cement, sulfate resistant cement, low heat cement. So the correct answer is white cement. White cement is commonly used for decorative work because it is white in color, also provide aesthetic appearance in architecture work, and its flooring work are also used, and decorative purpose also this cement is used. White cement are different from OPC and a special type of cement due to very low iron oxide and magnesium content. It is of white color. Hydration of cement is the chemical reaction between cement and water that produce heat and foam. So hydration of cement is a chemical reaction with water. When water is added to the cement, a chemical reaction starts and cement become hard. This process is only called hydration. What are the main product formed? During hydration, cement forms CSHL, calcium hydroxide, heat. Which oxide is present in higher percentage in cement? Options: silica, alumina, lime, iron oxide. So the correct answer is lime. Lime is the major constituent responsible for strength. Its percentage is somewhat 60 to 67%. Function is it gives strength to cement, help in formation of compound like C3S, C2S. Responsible for soundness and setting property of cement. Lime is present in higher amount. For chemical reaction of hydration of 200 kg of cement of average composition, the mass of water required would be 50 kg, 25 kg, 200 kg, 35 kg. Solution: weight of cement is given as 200 kg. Amount of water is required is equal to 200 kg into 2.23. So that is somewhat 43 kg. Whereas the correct option is nearby to 46 kg is 50 kg. So the correct option is A. The main role of dicalcium silicate compound in cement is first to provide strength, second to retard the flash setting of cement, third to provide color effect in cement, and last to flash set. So the correct option is C2S 25 to 40%. Normally 32% is uh, used for to provide ultimate strength at later stage. Raising of CS content reduce clinker hard to grind, reduce early strength, decrease resistance to freezing and thawing at early ages, and decrease heat of hydration. For mortar, which both cement and lime are mixed, is called Koch cement, cement mortar, lime mortar, lightweight mortar, Koch mortar. So the correct answer is Koch mortar. This mortar mix is the mix of cement and lime. These both are used as binding material and sand used as fine aggregate. It increased the strength and used to get higher stringing by mixing the lime mortar with cement. The process is known as gauging. The proportion of cement lime is taken as 1:6 to 1:9 for gauge lime mortar. The minimum compressive strength for Pozzolana cement at 28 days should be 33 MPa, 20, 10 MPa, 50 MPa. So the correct answer is for 3 days it would be 16, 7 days it would be 22 Newton per mm square, and 28 days it will be 33 Newton per mm square. So the correct answer for 28 days is option A, 33 MPa. Cement become hard because of drying, cooling, hydration या freezing. So the correct option is hydration. Cement become hard due to hydration. Hardening occur due to chemical hydration of cement. The color of OPC cement is generally white, green, grey, blue. So the correct answer is grey. Grey color is due to iron oxide present in cement. This is only responsible for greyish color, whereas white cement is of white color due to less presence of iron oxide in it, and OPC have more percentage. Which process is used for manufacturing cement nowadays? Dry process, wet process, semi-dry process, hand mixing process. So the correct answer is dry process. The dry process is economically and commonly used in Modern cement plant. Dry process of cement. Dry process raw material are mixed and ground in dry form without adding water. In this steps are crushing, drying, grinding, blending, preheating, burning in rotatory kiln, clinker cooling, addition of gypsum, final grinding, storage and packing. Where a various advantages are also less fuel consumption, economical, better for large scale production, environmentally better than wet process. Clinker is produced in crusher, ball mill, rotatory kiln, mixer. So the correct answer is rotatory kiln. Clinker is raw material are heated in rotatory kiln to form clinker. Clinker is hard nodule material produced during cement manufacturing in rotatory kiln. Raw material like limestone and clay are heated up about 1450 degrees Celsius in kiln. Chemical reaction form a small grayish black ball called clinker. What are the main compound of it? C3S, C2S, C3A and C4AF. The usually sizes of 3 to 25 mm in diameter. Clinker is ground with 2 to 3% gypsum to produce cement. Its properties are hard and stone, dark grey color, contain hydraulic compound. What are the temperature inside a cement kiln? 500 degree, 800 degree, 1450 degree, 2000. So the correct option is option C, as I have discussed earlier, 1450 degrees Celsius. Clinker formation take place in rotatory kiln about 1400 degree, 1450 degrees Celsius. Without clinker, cement cannot develop proper strength. So it's very important compound. Whereas main compound are C3S, C2S, C3A and C4AF. Which cement is suitable for mass concrete like dam? So option are rapid hardening cement, low heat cement, quick setting cement, white cement. So the correct option is low heat cement. Low heat cement minimize thermal cracks in large concrete structure. Low heat cement is a type of cement that produces less heat during hydration compared to ordinary Portland cement. What are the main features? It contains lower percentage of C3A, C3S, higher percentage of C2S. Therefore, heat of hydration is slow and low for it. What are the properties of it? Reduce temperature, rise in concrete, minimize thermal cracks, gain strength slowly, better durability in mass concrete work. Uses used in mass concrete structures such as dam, large raft, retaining wall, bridge pier. Advantage: less thermal cracking, better long-term strength, improved durability. The loss of strength in cement is due to sunlight, moisture exposure, wind, sand content. So moisture exposure is the correct option for it. Moisture initiate hydration before use and reduce strength. Whereas when cement reacts with water, heat of hydration is released. And this moisture initiate hydration before use and reduce strength for it. Thus, cement should be stored in dry condition for better use. Which test determine the fineness of cement? Sieve analysis test, Vickett test, compression test, and slump test. So, Vickett test is used for consistency test, compression test is used for compressive strength test, and slump test is used for workability. Sieve analysis test is commonly used for fineness of cement. Fineness is commonly measured using a 90 micron sieve. Excess lime in cement cause low strength, unsoundness, faster setting, better cool. So excess lime cause unsoundness. Excess lime cause and expansion and cracking after setting. Lime percentage is present in cement is 60 to 70%. It also reduces strength and slow setting of cement. If it is in low and it is more, it become unsound, cause expansion and cracking. Which cement is used for refractory work? OPC, high alumina, PPC, white cement. So the correct option is high alumina cement. High aluminium cement can withstand high temperature, so it's used as refractory work. The main function of cement is concrete is to increase weight, act as filler, bind aggregate, reduce water. So the correct answer is bind aggregate. Cement form a paste that bind, form and force aggregate together, whereas cement is binding material in which fine and coarse aggregate are helped to bound with. Which of the following is not a constituent of cement? Lime, silica, alumina, bitumen. So answer is bitumen. Bitumen is used in road construction, not in cement manufacturing. Bitumen is a black, sticky, highly viscous material primarily obtained from crude oil refining. It is commonly used as binder in asphalt for road construction and roofing products because it is waterproof and adhesive in nature. Bitumen the binding material. Asphalt mixture of bitumen plus aggregate. Cement bag should be stored at least dash above the floor. So the correct answer 50 mm, 100 mm, 150 mm, 500 mm. 150 mm. Cement bag should be stored at least 150 mm to 200 mm, that is 6 to 8 inches above ground level, using a wooden platform or pallet. Keep bag on dry wooden plank, store in moisture free room, maintain about 300 mm gap. Stack height should generally not exceed 10 bags to avoid lump formation. Cover with plastic sheet if needed. Which cement is best for plastering and decorative work? White cement, rapid hardening cement, sulfate resisting cement, low heat cement. So the correct answer is white cement. For decorative work, the most commonly preferred cement is white cement, used for wall finishes, tile joints, decorative flooring, sculptures and modeling, designer facades. Advantage for it are bright white appearance, smooth finish, better aesthetic, can be mixed with pigment for color design. Normal ordinary Portland cement is mainly for structural strength, while white cement is chosen for appearance and finishing work. Initial setting time is the time between mixing and hardening, mixing and beginning of stiffness, hardening and cracking, mixing and final strength. So the correct answer is mixing and beginning of stiffness. Adding water to cement and the moment the cement paste start losing its plasticity is only called initial setting time. Initial setting time is minimum 30 minutes for OPC. During this time, mixing, transporting, placing and compaction of concrete should be completed. It is measured by using the apparatus called Wickett test. It indicates the start of loss of plasticity, that is initial setting time. Which property of cement is tested using Blaine air permeability test apparatus? Strength, soundness, fineness, consistency. So the correct answer is fineness. Blaine apparatus measure specific surface area of cement particle. It is used to determine the fineness of cement by measuring its specific surface area. Principle used is test measure how easily air passes through a compacted bed of cement powder. Fine cement is equal to air passes slowly. Coarse cement, air passes quickly. Unit for it is centimeter square per gram or meter square per kg. And its importance for fineness: finer cement hydrate faster, gain early strength, produce more heat of hydration. Apparatus are manometer, performator disc, plunger, blade air permittivity apparatus. Chemical formula of gypsum. Gypsum chemical formula is CaSO4H2O. It is mainly added to cement during the manufacture, control the setting time. The function of gypsum in cement: prevent flash setting, increase working time, helps proper hydration of cement. Typical percentage in cement is 3 to 5%. Use of gypsum: cement industry, plaster of Paris, false ceiling and wallboard, decorative work, medical cast. Without gypsum, cement would set too quickly immediately after adding water, making it difficult to use. Gypsum is soft mineral chemically known as CaSO4 2H2O. Which cement has better resistance against chemical attack? So the correct option are OPC, PPC, quick setting cement, white cement. PPC has lower permeability and better durability, so it has better resistance against chemical attack. Chemical attack on concrete mean the deterioration or damage of concrete due to harmful chemical reaction with substance present in soil, water or atmosphere. The standard size of cement mortar cube used in compression test is 50 mm, 70.6 mm, 100 mm or 150 mm. So correct answer is 70.6 mm. Cement mortar cubes of 7.6 mm are used for compressive strength testing. It used by using the compressive testing machine to determine the compressive strength of cube cement. Which cement is commonly used in cold weather concreting? Low heat cement, rapid hardening cement, white cement or PPC? So correct answer is rapid hardening cement. Rapid hardening cement develops strength quickly in cold weather. Cold weather concreting means placing, curing and protecting concrete when the atmospheric temperature is generally low, below 5 degrees Celsius. Problem in cold weather concreting are hydration process slow down, setting time increase, early strength gain becomes low, water and concrete may freeze, crack and reduced durability can occur. And what precautions should be taken? Use warm water for mixing, heat aggregate if necessary, use rapid hardening cement, reduce water cement ratio, cover concrete with insulating blanket. Avoid placing concrete on frozen ground. Proper curing and protection from frost. And what are the effect of freezing? If fresh concrete freeze before gaining sufficient strength, internal crack develop. A strength reduced permanently. Suitable cement. Rapid hardening cement is often preferred in cold weather because it gains strength quickly. Cement hydration produces carbon dioxide, heat, oxygen, nitrogen. So the correct answer is heat. Hydration is exothermal chemical reaction due to which heat is produced in cement. Exothermic chemical reaction is a reaction in which heat is evolved, not involved. Which oxide is responsible for grey color of cement? Iron oxide, silica, alumina, lime. So the correct answer is iron oxide. Iron oxide is responsible for grey color in cement. Iron oxide is present in cement in 2 to 3%, so the grey color is absent. In white cement, iron oxide is present somewhat 0.5%, so there is mostly white color is observed in white cement. The shelf life of cement is approximately 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 5 years. So the correct answer is 3 months. Cement should preferably be used within 3 months for best performance, as cement moisture should not be there, should be kept at dry place for its better performance. Best 3 months is only used as after 3 months there is a chances for the moisture getting in a cement. Cement should be of good quality, is used for give a best performance. The phenomena in which cement hardened underwater is called hydration, carbonation, calcination, evaporation. Hydration is a process in which cement enables grain strength even underwater. Hydration is a evolved in which heat is evolved, so the product enables cement to gain strength under even water. Which test is used to check the expansion property of cement? Soundness test, slump test, impact test, flow test. Slump test is used for check the workability, impact test is used to check the toughness, flow test is used to check the flow nature of cement. Soundness test ensure dimension stability after setting. De Chatelier apparatus is used for soundness test. The expansion should not exceed 10 mm for OPC. Portland cement was first invented by Joseph Esprit, Thomson, Thomas Edison, Newton, Henry Ford. So correct answer is Joseph Esprit. Joseph Esprit was the England scientist patented Portland cement in 1824. It was somewhat seems to be white color of Portland stone, so the cement is named as Portland cement. Which of the following is polyzonic material? Fly ash, sand, gravel, bitumen. So the correct answer is fly ash. Fly ash reacts with lime and improve concrete property. Thus, polyzonic Portland cement is also formed with the mixing of fly ash in it. Fly ash is a powder obtained from coal thermal power plant. It's of grey color, polyzonic material, and with cement it gives strength. Concrete workability is also increased with it, and heat of hydration is also released of less amount. The process of burning limestone to produce clinker is called hydration, calcination, evaporation, pulverization. So the correct answer is calcination. It's remove carbon dioxide from limestone. Thus clinker are formed with burning limestone in 1200 degrees Celsius heating. Quick setting cement is mainly used in decorative work, underwater work, flooring, masonry. So quick setting cement is used mostly in underwater work. For decorative work, mostly we use white cement. Underwater work, as it sets rapidly in situation where quick hardening is required. For underwater, that chances for crack should be there, so its rapid hardening is most important for it. Which cement is environmentally more sustainable? OPC, PPC, white cement, high aluminium cement. So the correct answer is PPC. PPC uses industrial waste. like fly ash reducing CO2 emission. As fly ash is a polygonic material in which emission of heat is less, so it will be sustainable, more economical benefit, environmental benefit, and economically also is good for use. Heat of hydration is removed with less. For strength also it's good. For workability also good, as it is a polydonic material. So correct answer is PPC. The major ingredient in OPC is gypsum, clinker, sand, fly ash. So the correct answer is clinker. Clinker forms the major portion of ordinary Portland cement. Which property of cement affects workability of concrete? Color, fineness, smell, texture. Fineness. Finer cement increase water demand and affect workability. As color, smell, and texture do not affect the workability, but fineness of cement affect the workability of cement. Sorry, workability of concrete is affected with the fineness property. The primary function of gypsum added during cement manufacturing is increase strength of cement, improve soundness, control setting time, increase fineness. So the correct answer is control setting time. Gypsum is of 3 to 5% is added to clinker to prevent flash setting caused by rapid hydration of C3A, that is tricalcium aluminate. It regulates the setting process and provides sufficient working time. Thus, the gypsum work is to control the setting time of cement. Which compound contributes maximum strength to cement after 1 year? C3S, C2S, C3A, C4AF. So the correct answer is C2S. C3S is used for early strength, that is provide strength up to 28 days. C2S provides strength long term, that is for after 1 year also. C3A is for heat generation and C4AF is for color and minor contribution in the strength of cement. Which compound responsible for flash setting of cement? C3S, C2S, C3A, C4AF. So the correct answer is C3A. C3A hydrates very rapidly and release a large amount of heat causing flash setting if gypsum is not added. If gypsum is not added, then C3A is responsible for flash setting. Otherwise, gypsum is responsible for flash setting, that is setting time of cement. Which box compound produces the highest heat of hydration? C2S, C3S, C3A, C4AF. So the higher heat generation is of C3A. Here's the order given below. So highest is C3A, then C3S, then C4AF, and at least and last C2S. 3A is responsible for maximum heat evolution and C2S is responsible for minimum heat evolution. C3A maximum, C2S minimum. The standard consistency test is performed using Le-Chatelier apparatus, Vickett apparatus, Blaine apparatus, compression testing machine. So the correct answer is Vickett apparatus. Vickett apparatus is used for standard consistency test, initial setting time test, and final setting time test. Uh, Compression testing machine is used for compression test. Le-Chatelier is used for soundness test. The fineness of cement is generally measured by compression test, soundness test, blend air permeability test, slump test. So the correct answer is C, blend air permeability test. Finer cement has larger surface area and hydrates faster, increasing early strength. As it is finer, it's a large surface area and hydrates faster, increasing early strength. So the fineness of cement is measured by blend air permeability test. Soundness of cement indicates its resistance against compression, expansion after setting, abrasion, shear. So the correct answer is expansion after setting. Unsound cement expand after hardening due to excess free lime or magnesia causing crack. The minimum initial setting time of ordinary Portland cement is 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes. So the correct answer is 30 minutes. Minimum setting time of ordinary Portland cement is 30 minutes and final setting time is of 10 hours, that is 600 minutes. Setting time is measured with the help of Wickett apparatus test. Which cement is most suitable for mass concrete construction such as dam? Rapid hardening, sulfate resistant, low heat, white cement. So low heat cement is used for mass concrete such as dam. Low heat cement contain less C3A and C3S, reducing temperature rise and thermal cracking in massive structure. As the content of C3A and C3S is low, the heat of hydration also in less amount is released. Also manage temperature in cracking for mass construction. Excessive percentage of MgO in cement leads to increased strength, flash setting, unsoundness, reduced hydration. So the correct answer is unsoundness. Excess MgO hydrates slowly and cause delayed expansion and cracking. Which type of cement develop strength mostly? OPC 33, OPC 43 grade, OPC 53 grade, low heat cement. So the correct answer is OPC 53 grade. OPC 53 grade possesses higher, finer, and greater C3S content, resulting in faster strength. As it has OPC 53 have fineness and C3S content is higher. So the strength gain is also faster. The approximate pH value of cement paste is 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13. So the correct answer is 12 to 13. Hydration product produced calcium hydroxide, making cement paste highly alkaline. As the cement paste is alkaline in nature, so pH value obtained is 12 to 13. Which cement constituent contribute least to strength? C3S, C2S, C3S, C4AF. So the correct answer is C4AF. C4AF mainly act as a flex during clinker formation and contribute minimally to the strength. C4AF contribute minimally to the strength.
You can access class PDF from YouTube class notes section on our application. So If you are preparing for TNPSC Assistant Engineer Civil Exam, you can enroll in our course cover, ebook, question bank, mock test series and test pass feature. Link of our course is provided in description.
Which of the following property is most important for aggregate used in wearing surface of road? Option: workability, toughness, setting time, consistency. So the correct answer is toughness. Road aggregate are subjected to impact load from moving vehicle. Toughness indicate the ability of aggregate to resist impact and sudden shock. What the word toughness describes? Toughness is the ability to withstand pressure, stress, damage or difficult without condition, without breaking or failing. The aggregate impact value test measure crushing strength, hardness, toughness, water absorption. So the correct option is toughness. Toughness, the aggregate impact value test determine the resistance of aggregate to impact or shock loading. Toughness test of aggregate is used to determine an aggregate resistance to impact or sudden shock. Purpose is to find percentage of fineness produced when the standard impact load is applied. What are the apparatus used? Impact testing machine, cylindrical measure, tamping rod, sieve 12.5 mm, 10 mm and 2.36 mm. Balance. Which test is used to determine the resistance of aggregate against abrasion? Crushing test, Los Angeles abrasion test, impact test, soundness test. So the correct answer is Los Angeles abrasion test. Los Angeles abrasion test evaluate the hardness and abrasion resistance of aggregate, which is purpose is to assess the ability of aggregate to resist wear due to friction, impact and abrasion, especially in road construction. What are the apparatus used? Los Angeles machine, steel ball, standard sieve, wedging. What is the size of steel ball? Size and weight of steel ball. Flaky aggregate are those whose thickness is less than 6.6 times mean size, greater than 1.8 times mean size, equal to mean size, less than 1 times the mean size. So the correct answer is less than 0.6 times the mean size. According to IS specification, an aggregate is flaky if its least dimension is less than 0.6 times its mean sieve size. According to standard practice, an aggregate is considered flaky if its thickness is greater than 0.6 into mean size. What are the characteristics? Thin and flat in shape, provide poor interlocking compared to cubical aggregate, has larger surface area requiring more binder or cement paste. What are the effects if on concrete and pavement? Reduce workability, may decrease strength and durability, can break easily under load. Elongated aggregate are those whose length are less than mean size, greater than 1.8 times mean size, equal to mean size, less than 0.6 times mean size. So the correct answer is greater than 1.8 times mean size. Elongated particles have a length greater than 1.8 times their mean dimension. Aggregate is considered to be elongated if its length is greater than 1.8 times mean size. Characteristics are long and slender shape, poor packing and interlocking property, more likely to break under compaction and traffic load. Elongated aggregate are those whose length are less than mean size, greater than 1.8 times mean size, equal to mean size, less than 0.6 times mean size. So the correct answer is greater than 1.8 times mean size. Elongated particle have a length greater than 1.8 times to their mean size. elongated, greater than 1.8 times mean size. Characteristics are long slender shape, poor packing interlocking property, more likely to break under compaction and traffic load. The specific gravity of normal weight aggregate generally lies between 1 to 1.5, 1.5 to 2, 2 to 2.5 to 3, 3.5 to 4. The correct answer is 2.5 to 3. A specific gravity of an aggregate used in concrete have a specific gravity between 2.5 and 3. What is the specific gravity? It is the ratio of weight of volume upon weight of equal water. Purpose is to determine the quality and strength of aggregate used in concrete mix design. Help to calculate void and density. And there are different types such as apparent specific gravity, bulk specific gravity, saturated surface dry. And what are the tests used are pycnometer test mostly used. The maximum permissible aggregated crushing value for wearing surface is approximately 15%, 30%, 45%, 60%. Correct answer is 30%. For road bearing surface, the aggregate crushing value should not exceed 30%. Aggregate crushing value test is measured the resistance of aggregate to crushing under a gradual applied compressive load. To assess the strength of coarse aggregate, to determine the suitability for road construction and concrete work. Aggregate crushing value apparatus, compression testing machine, cylindrical measure, tamping rod, sieve 2.36 mm and weighing balance are the apparatus used in this test. The test used to assess weathering resistance of aggregate is abrasion test, soundness test, impact test, crushing test. Weathering resistance of aggregate measured by abrasion test, soundness test, impact test, crushing test. The correct answer is soundness test. Soundness test determine the resistance of aggregate against weathering actions such as freezing and thawing. Soundness test principle repeatedly emerge in saturated solutions such as sodium sulfate Na2SO4 and magnesium sulfate MgSO4. And calculation is done by the percentage original weight minus final weight upon original weight into 100. So the soundness loss is calculated. Lower percentage more durable, higher percentage less durable. Rounded aggregate are mainly obtained from crushed rock, riverbed, quarries, limestone or mines. So correct answer is riverbed. Continuous water action around the edges of aggregate found in riverbed. As the rounded aggregate, continuous water action that comes on river that make the breakdown of aggregate, and continuous action make it in round shape. So this rounded aggregate are mostly obtained from riverbeds only. Which aggregate requires the least quantity of cement paste for a given workability? Option: angular, flaky, elongated, rounded. So correct option is rounded. Rounded aggregate have a smaller surface area and lower friction, requiring less cement paste. Rounded aggregate have minimum surface area. They provide better workability. Rounded, then what's the correct order? Irregular, angular, and last flaky. Rounded aggregate require least quantity of cement paste because they have a smaller surface area, lower void sim content, resulting in better workability and economic concrete mix. Fineness module of coarse aggregate generally lies between 1.5 to 3, 5.5 to 8, 9 to 12, 12 to 15. So the correct answer is 5.5 to 8. Course aggregate typically have fineness module ranging from 5.5 to 8. So the correct option in above is given as B, 5.5 to 8. The aggregate crushing value gives a relative measure of resistance to impact, resistance to crushing under gradual loading, applied load, water absorption, shape aggregate. The correct answer is resistance to crushing under gradually applied load, option B. The crushing value indicates the strength of aggregate against compressive load. The crushing aggregate crushing value is percentage of fineness produced when a standard aggregate sample is subjected to specific compressive load. It indicates the aggregate resistance to crushing, that is W2 upon W1 into 100. W1 is total weight, W2 is material passing from 2.36 mmc. Which of the following is lightweight aggregate? Granite, basalt, pumice, quartz. So the correct answer is pumice. Pumice is porous volcanic rock used as lightweight aggregate. And the pumice aggregate has large number of voids, thus which make its weight lighter in comparison to other aggregates such as basalt, granite. Pumice is light-colored, highly porous volcanic rock, lightweight, highly porous, rough texture, low density, brittle in nature. Used in lightweight aggregate, low density concrete blocks are made with it, used in insulating material and sometimes used in abrasive cleaning product. Water absorption of aggregate indicate strength, hardness, porosity, toughness. So the correct answer is porosity. Higher water absorption means higher porosity and general lower durability. Water absorption of aggregate is the percentage of water absorbed by the aggregate when it immerses in water for a specific time. That is WSST minus W dry upon W dry into 100, where WSST is saturated surface dry condition and W dry is oven dried weight upon oven dry weight into 100. A good aggregate should have water absorption less than 10%, 8%, 5%, 20%. So the correct option is 5%. For quality concrete aggregate, water absorption is generally preferred to be less than 5%. As if aggregate absorb lower water, it will give higher workability. If more water is absorbed, the workability of aggregate decrease, which also affect the strength of structure. Which sieve is used to separate fine and coarse aggregate? 75 mm, 600, 4.75 mm, 10. So the correct answer is 4.75 mm. Aggregate passing 4.75 mm sieve are fine aggregate, retained are coarse aggregate. The presence of flaky and elongated aggregate in concrete generally increase strength, improve workability, reduce strength and durability has no effect. So the correct answer is reduce strength and durability. Such particles break easily and create voids, reducing concrete quality. The bulk density of aggregate depends mainly on shape and grading, cement content, water cement ratio, temperature. So the correct answer is shape and grading. Well graded aggregate packed more densely, increasing bulk density. Bulk density formula is mass of aggregate upon bulk volume. Loose bulk density aggregate poured without compaction. Compacted bulk density compacted with tamping rod or vibration. Indicate how densely aggregate are packed. Help in mixed design of concrete used to calculate void content and proportion of material. Particle shape is rounded, higher density gradation of aggregate, moisture content, degree of compaction. These are the factors affecting the bulk density. Which test determine the percentage of flaky and elongated particle? Soundness test, shape test, impact test, crushing test. Shape test, flakiness index and elongation index tests are used to determine aggregate shape characteristics. Shape test of aggregate is used for the coarse aggregate, mainly iron flaky and angular particle. Flakiness index measure weight of flaky particle upon total weight into 100. That is, thickness is less than 6.5 into mean size. Thin and flat flakiness index. For elongation index, length is smaller than 1.8 into mean size. That is, weight of total elongated particle upon total weight into 100. Measures long and thin particle. Which of the following is not a desirable property of aggregate used in concrete? Strength, durability, porosity, toughness. So the correct answer is porosity. Higher porosity increase water absorption and reduce durability. As the aggregate is more porous, it absorbs more water, and on increasing the water absorption, the durability and workability is decreased, which also affect the strength of structure. Thus, this porosity is not a desirable property of aggregate used in concrete. The finest module is an index of particle shape, average particle size, specific gravity, strength. So the correct answer is average particle size. Finest modulus gives an indication of average size of aggregate particle. Finest module is an empirical index number that represents the average particle size of aggregate. It indicates how fine or coarse the aggregate is. It is calculated by adding the cumulative percentage retained on the standard set of sieve and dividing the total by 100. Sieve use 4.75 mm, 2.36 mm, 1.18 mm, 600 microns, 300 microns, 150 microns. And the typical values for fine sand 2.5 to 2.2 to 2.6, medium 2.6 to 2.9, and for coarse 2.9 to 3.2. Fine 2.2 to 2.6, medium 2.6 to 2.9, and for coarse 2.9 to 3.2. The specific gravity of aggregate is important in mixed design calculation, slump test, setting time duration, air content measurement. Correct answer is mixed design calculation. A specific gravity is required for volume and mixed proportion calculation. Mixed design refers to the proportioning of concrete ingredients such as cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, water, and admixture to achieve desired strength, workability, and durability for a particular construction requirement. aggregate has least surface area? Flaky, angular, rounded, elongated. So correct answer is rounded. Rounded aggregate have a smooth surface and minimum specific surface area. Crushing value of an aggregate should be low because it indicates high strength, high porosity, low durability, high water absorption. So the correct answer is high strength. Lower crushing value means stronger aggregate. Higher crushing value means weaker aggregate. Aggregate occupy approximately what percentage of concrete volume? So correct options are given: 20 to 30%, 30 to 40%, 60 to 80%, and 90 to 95%. Correct option is 60 to 80%. Aggregate form the major portion of concrete volume. Coarse and fine aggregate together about 60 to 80% volume. That is cement paste, then water occupies about 25 to 40%. Aggregate acts as main loading bearing material, so it occupies more volume. They provide strength, bulk, and stability. Cement paste acts as binder only. Which the test used to determine particle size distribution is impact test, crushing test, sieve analysis, soundness test. So correct answer is sieve analysis. Sieve analysis of determine grading of aggregate. Purpose is to find a grading, determine fineness module, check suitability for concrete and road works, ensure proper workability and strength. Set of standard sieves are 4.75 mm to 150 microns for fine aggregate. Mechanical sieve shaker are used, reaching mileage over. It's helped in mix design, proper gradation, prevent segregation, and improve strength and durability. Gap grading means what is gap grading? So options are continuous grading, missing one or more intermediate sizes, uniform grading, or fine grading. Correct option is missing one or more intermediate sizes. Gap grading is type of aggregate grading in which one or more intermediate particle size are missing or poorly represented in overall size distribution. Characteristics are contain coarse particle and fine particle but lack medium size particle. Create a gap in grading curve, not a continuous as well as graded distribution. Show a steep drop gap in middle sieve sizes. Indicate absence of certain intermediate sizes. Can improve advantages there for gap grading are improve workability using architecture concrete. What are the disadvantages? Increased void content, poor packing density, higher cement paste requirement, and may reduce strength and durability if not properly designed. Whereas in short, we can conclude that gap grading is type of aggregate grading in which certain intermediate sizes are missing, resulting in discontinuous particle size distribution. Which aggregate shape provide maximum workability? Options are angular, flaky, rounded, elongated. So the correct answer is rounded. Maximum workability refers to higher degree of ease with concrete can be mixed, placed, compacted, and finished without segregation. It is a condition when concrete is very easy to handle and flow. Rounded provide higher workability, and which provide lower workability, angular provide lower workability. Aggregate retained on 4.7 mm sieve is called coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, mineral sand. Correct option is coarse aggregate. Aggregate which passes from 4.75 mm sieve is called fine aggregate, and aggregate which are retained on 4.75 mm sieve are called coarse aggregate. And this grading is done with the help of sieve analysis. The principal source of natural sand is quarry dust, river deposit, fly ash, cement linters. So the correct option is river deposit. Natural sand is a fine aggregate formed by the natural disintegration and weathering of rock, mainly found in riverbed, lakes and seashore. Types of natural sand are river sand, pit sand, sea sand. What are the characteristics? Fine in size, passing from 4.75 mm, usually rounded, smooth particle, free from harmful impurities, good workability due to smooth texture is also obtained. What are the advantages? It provides good workability in concrete, readily available, produce dense and strong concrete. Disadvantage may also contain sand, clay, silt, and organic impurities. Sea sand contains salt that cause corrosion of steel. Over extraction cause also environmental issue. Which test evaluate aggregate resistance against wear? So the options are impact test, crushing test, Los Angeles abrasion test, soundness test. Correct option is Los Angeles abrasion test, LA test, also known as LA test, Los Angeles abrasion test. Los Angeles abrasion test is used to determine the resistance of aggregate to abrasion, impact, and grading action due to traffic and mechanical wear. Measures hardness and toughness of aggregate. Checks suitability for road construction and pavement. Los Angeles abrasion testing machine is used, steel ball is used, standard sieve is used, and weighing balance is used. Formula is for this is W1 minus W2 upon W1 into 100. Lower value give durable aggregate, higher value give less durable aggregate. Aggregate with higher water absorption generally possesses lower porosity, high density, high porosity, high strength. So it possesses high porosity. What does high porosity means? High porosity refers to the material condition in which large number of void or pores are present within the material structure. That is high water absorption. There is can be said it contain more voids, many internal pores that absorb and retain water. What are the effects of high porosity in aggregate? High water absorption, low strength and durability, increased risk of weathering and frost damage, poor resistance of crushing and abrasion. Also require more cement paste in concrete. What are advantage? It can be used for better insulation, used in special blocks such as lightweight block. Example for it are pumice, scoria, because pumice is lightweight aggregate as we all discussed earlier. The shape of aggregate is determined using specific gravity test, flankiness test, elongation index test, soundness test, and crushing test. So this question we have also discussed earlier. Shape of aggregate is done with the flankiness and elongation test. And flankiness elongation index, how we calculate this also we have mentioned earlier. Also called as shape test. This test is also determined as. Its purpose is to check the shape and quality of aggregate, to assess suitability for aggregate and road construction, to improve workability, strength and durability. And formula also discussed. Flankiness index, that is thickness is less than 0.6 into mean size, and elongation is equal to length is smaller than 1.8 into mean size. Flankiness, thickness less than 0.6 into mean size, elongation less than elongation length is greater smaller than 1.8 into mean size. The aggregate impact value should preferably be high, low, equal to crushing value, more than 50. So the correct option is low. Aggregate impact value should be low. Because why it's low? The question reason is that the aggregate has high toughness, meaning it can resist sudden impact or shock load without breaking. A low AIV indicate the aggregation have high toughness. Ensure good performance in load, resistance to traffic loads and vibration, increase durability of concrete and bituminous mix. A well-graded aggregate contain particle of one size only, contain particle of different size in suitable proportion, contain only coarse aggregate, contain only fine aggregate. So the correct option is contain particle of different size in suitable proportion. Well-graded aggregate, well-graded aggregate contain all sizes of particle, produce a continuous grading curve, results in minimum void, give dense and compact mass. Advantage high strength and durability of concrete, low void content, requires less cement paste, better workability, reduced segregation and bleeding. Advantage. What are the comparison? Well graded, all size present, best packing. Poorly graded, missing size, more voids. Uniform graded, mostly same size, high voids. So what can we conclude? Well-graded aggregate is an aggregate that contains particles of all sizes in suitable proportion, resulting in minimum voids and maximum density. Minimum voids and maximum density. A void content in aggregate decrease with poor grading, uniform grading, well grading, increased flakiness. As we have discussed, well graded result in minimum voids and maximum density. So, well grading is the correct answer for it. Void content in aggregate decrease with well grading. Well grading aggregate all sizes present. Best packing is done. Poorly grading, missing size are there. More voids are there. Uniformly grading was graded mostly same size, high voids. Which aggregate properly affect concrete strength most? Color, texture, aggregate strength, cost. So correct answer for this is aggregate property affect concrete strength most is aggregate strength. Aggregate of good strength provide the high strength to the concrete and better strength for the structure. The standard sieve opening for fine aggregate upper limit is 2.36 mm, 4.75 mm, 10 mm, 20 mm. So the correct option for the standard sieve opening for fine aggregate upper limit is 4.75 mm. Below 4.75 mm, it's considered as fine aggregate, and up retained on this 4.75 mm sieve is considered as coarse aggregate. Which of the following is manufactured aggregate? River sand, gravel, crushed stone, natural pebble. So the correct option is crushed stone. For natural aggregate are aggregate which are naturally obtained from riverside bed. Oh, okay. And manufactured aggregate is an artificially produced aggregate obtained by crushing hard rock, stone, or industrial byproduct using mechanical crusher. Crushed rock, quarry stone, industrial byproducts such as blast furnace, crushed concrete. Mostly angular in shape, rough surface texture, good interlocking property, higher in strength compared to some natural aggregate. Bulk density of aggregate are expressed in kg per meter cube, Newton per mm square, percentage MPa. So the correct option is kg per meter cube. What is bulk density? Bulk density of aggregate is the mass of volume aggregate required to fill a unit volume of container, including the voids between the particles. Mass of aggregate upon total volume including voids. Loose bulk density is equal to aggregate is poured without compaction. And rotted or compacted bulk density is compacted by damping or vibration. What does significance help in concrete mix design used to determine voids, indicate how well aggregate are packed, effect strength and economy of concrete. Factor affecting bulk density, shape of aggregate, rounded, higher density, size and grading, degree of compaction, moisture content. Aggregate crushing value test is conducted on coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, cement, mortar, sand. So the correct option is coarse aggregate only. Aggregate crushing value test is done to find its toughness and hardness. That is cannot be done on fine aggregate. So the only option B is correct for this question. Coarse aggregate only. What IS code is used for this aggregate crushing value test? So IS code used for this crushing value test is IS 2386 part 4. Which aggregate property is mostly important for railway ballast? Toughness, abrasion resistance, hardness, all of the above. So the property which is mostly important for railway blast are toughness, abrasion, hardness, all of that. Correct option is all of the above. The percentage where in Los Angeles test indicate aggregate hardness, aggregate strength, aggregate durability against abrasion, water absorption. So the percentage where in loss abrasion test indicate the durability against abrasion. Los Angeles test is performed Los Angeles test in performed determine the resistance of aggregate to wear, abrasion and impact due to traffic and mechanical action. To measure hardness and toughness of aggregate is used to check the suitability for road construction and pavement is used. And what the IS code is used? IS 2386 part 4. 2386 part 4. The angular aggregate produce concrete with higher workability, better bond and strength, lower strength, higher segregation. Angular aggregate produce better bond and strength. Why it produce better bond strength? Why it produce? As as we have discussed, angular aggregate are those they have sharp edges, rough surface and irregular shape, usually obtained by crushing rocks in crusher. Due to they have angular edges, so they provide better bond and strength. The aggregate impact value for concrete aggregate should generally be less than 20%, 30%, 45%, 60%. So the correct option is 45%. Aggregate impact value for concrete should be less than 45%. How this value is determined? Aggregate impact value is the percentage of fine particle passing from 2.36 mmC produced when a standard aggregate sample is subjected to a certain impact load in testing machine. That is, AIV is done W2 upon W1 into 100. W2 is weight of material passing 2.36 mm upon weight of original aggregate, that is W1. It measures toughness of aggregate, resistance against sudden shocks and impact load. Low AIV means tough and strong aggregate. High AIV means weak aggregate. Which of the following example of heavyweight aggregate? Pumice, expanded clay, barite or slender? So the correct option is barite. Heavyweight aggregate are used in radiation shading concrete. Heavyweight aggregate are special types of aggregate having high specific gravity, generally greater than 3, used to produce heavy concrete for shading and special structure. And other than barite, there are magnite, hematite, ilmenite, steel punching or iron shot are also example of heavyweight aggregate. And lightweight aggregate are pumice, lightweight aggregate. So the correct option is barite. The term grading of aggregate refers to strength classification, shape classification, size distribution, particle density classification. Correct option is size distribution of particle. Grading refers to the how the different size of the aggregate are distributed according to the IS code. Grading of aggregate refers to the distribution of particle size within a sample of aggregate to ensure proper workability, achieve maximum density and minimum void, to improve strength and durability, to reduce cement requirement. Well graded aggregate types of grading are poorly graded aggregate, uniformly graded aggregate, or gap graded aggregate. Determination of this is done with the help of sieve analysis test. Fineness module increase when aggregate become finer, aggregate become coarser, specific gravity increase, water absorption increase. So correct option is aggregate become coarser. Fineness module is defined as the fineness module is defined as an empirical number that indicates the average size of particle in an aggregate sample. It shows whether the aggregate is fine or coarse. Fineness is done with the sieve arrangement, that is 4.75 mm, 2.36 mm, 1.18 mm, 600 microns, 300 microns and 150 microns. Low fineness module means fine aggregate, high fineness module means coarse aggregate. Excessive flaky particle in concrete may cause increase in strength, better workability, segregation and weak concrete, lower water demand. So the correct option for this is segregation and weak concrete. Why this called Why this happen? This happen because when the particles are flaky, they create several problems in concrete and road construction. Lower strength of concrete due to weak particle structure, poor workability is there, difficult to mix and place, increased void is there, more cement and water is required, poor interlocking is obtained between particles, higher chance of segregation and bleeding is there, reduced durability and stability of pavement is there, easy breakage under load. Which IS code covered method for test of aggregate? IS 456, IS 10262, IS 2386, IS 383. So the IS 12386 2386 covered method of test for aggregate. Different parts are also this IS code is there mentioned for different aggregate. IS 456 is for concrete structure. 456 2000 mostly we use for concrete. IS 2386. This IS contain how many parts? 5 parts. First part, shape and size test, flakiness test. Second, estimation of material and organic impurity. Third part contain specific gravity, density, water absorption and void. Fourth part contain mechanical property, that is crushing value, impact value, abrasion value. And fifth part contain soundness test. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 parts are there for this IS. Which IS code specify requirement for aggregate used in concrete? IS code aggregate used in concrete. IS 383 specify requirement for aggregate used in concrete. IS 383 entitled as specification for coarse and fine aggregates from natural source for concrete. It provides a quality requirement and grading limit for aggregate used in concrete construction. Different trading zone are also mentioned here, like zone 1 to zone 4. The aggregate crushing value for a strong aggregate is usually more than 45%, less than 30%, more than 60%, equal to 50%. So the correct option for the above form are less than 30%. Crushing value for a strong aggregate is usually less than 30%. As the crushing value increases, the chances for not for chances, the strength decreases. So the less than 30% crushing value is for strong aggregate, that is usually used for the concrete structure. Which type of aggregate has the highest interlocking effect? Rounded, cubical, angular or spherical? So correct answer for this is angular. Higher interlocking effect, angular. A low flakiness index indicate poor aggregate quality, good aggregate shape, high water absorption, high porosity. Lower flakiness index indicate good aggregate shape. As the flakiness index is less, the aggregate shape is okay. Flakiness index increase, the shape became not worse in condition not to use properly. The presence of clay lumps in aggregate cause increase in bond strength, reduction in concrete strength, increase in durability, increase in specific gravity. The presence of clay lumps in aggregate cause reduction in concrete strength. As there is lumps in aggregate, so it will not proper or easy to handle, ease with workability. So this reduction in concrete strength is obtained because it not mixed properly or placed properly. So this is the main reason occur also in aggregate. The percentage of voids in aggregate depends mainly on cement content, aggregate grading and shape, water cement ratio, temperature. The option is correct, aggregate grading and shape. Percentage of void in aggregate depend mainly on aggregate grading and shape. Which of the following gives the strongest concrete? Rounded gravel aggregate, flaky aggregate, angular crushed stone aggregate, elongated aggregate. So the correct option is angular crushed stone aggregate gives the strongest concrete. Angular crushed stone aggregate. The soundness test commonly use sodium sulfate and magnesium sulfate solution, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, lime water. Correct option is sodium sulfate or magnesium sulfate solution is used for soundness test. Sodium sulfate or magnesium sulfate solution is used for soundness test. The most economical concrete is obtained when aggregate are poorly graded, uniformly graded, well graded, flaky. So correct option is well graded. Which of the following aggregate sizes is commonly used as nominal maximum size in RCC work? 4.75 mm, 10 mm, 20 mm, 80 mm. So the correct option is nominal use 20 mm. 20 mm nominal size aggregate is most commonly used in reinforcement cement concrete as it provides good strength and workability to use. So the correct option is option C 20 mm as it is readily available and mostly used, so it's commonly used in RCC work. The deleterious material aggregate that causes staining and durability problem is quartz, mica, granite, basalt. So the correct option is mica. Mica reduces bond strength and durability due to its flaky nature. Deleterious material is what? Mica, because it reduces bond strength and durability due to its flaky nature. Mica is obtained in flaky nature. The main purpose of well-graded aggregate in concrete is to increase void, reduce cement consumption, increase water demand, reduce density. So the option is reduce cement consumption. Well-graded aggregate minimize void, not increase void, it minimize voids. Reduce the amount of cement paste required. As the cement paste requirement is reduced, that the correct option is reduce cement consumption. Which of the following aggregate has the highest water absorption? Dense granite, quartz, pumice, or basalt? Highest water absorption. What is highest water absorption? Lighter weight aggregate only has highest water absorption, whereas pumice is lightly weight, highly porous, therefore they absorb more water. More porous is only pumice, so it absorbs more water. In sieve analysis, the cumulative percentage retained is used to determine aggregate strength, fineness module, specific gravity, crushing strength. Sieve analysis cumulative percent is used to determine fineness module. Fineness module is obtained by summing cumulative percentage retained on standard sieve. The toughness of aggregate is particularly important in foundation, pavement and runway, water tank, machinery work. So the correct option is pavement and runway. Road and airfield payments are subjected to impact load from traffic. So this toughness property is mainly important for aggregate in pavement and runway. So the correct option is option B. Which aggregate property is measured by Los Angeles machine? Los Angeles abrasion machine used the property measure toughness, abrasion resistance, specific gravity or soundness. So the option is correct, abrasion resistance. Los Angeles abrasion machine evaluate the resistance of aggregates to wear and tear of abrasion. Which option is correct? Option B. The aggregate impact value exceptionally strong aggregate is generally below 10%, 20, 30%, 35 to 45%, 50%. So below 10%, lower impact value indicate higher toughness and better quality of aggregate. As the impact value increases, the quality decreases. So the lower value gives better quality, higher value decrease the quality. Which of the following is an example of recycled aggregate? River gravel, crushed stone from demolished structure, natural sand or crushed granite? So the correct option is crushed concrete from demolished structure, which is also named as RCA. RCA is produced from construction and demolition waste. Today now mostly this is only used in construction RCA because it is sustainable benefit as there is a mostly development process is going on, construction and demolition is easily available. So this can be a good alternative at the use of aggregate. RCA could be a good alternative. Also prevent environmental damage, so give sustainable development, etc. RCA can be also categorized in RCCA, that is recycle concrete coarse aggregate, and RFA, recycle fine aggregate. This RCCA and RFA could be of two different, that is RFA passing from 4.75 mmC is called RFA, and what is retained on 4.75 mmC is called RCCA, recycled concrete coarse aggregate. The combined flakiness index and elongation index for aggregate used in pavement construction should generally not exceed 15%, 30%, 35%, 50%. Correct option is 35%. Excessive flaky and elongated particles reduce pavement strength and durability. Hence, specification generally limit their combined percentage. So, the correct option for the given answer is 35%. The combined flakiness index and elongation index for aggregate used in pavement should generally not exceed 35%.
You can access class PDF from YouTube class notes section on our application.
So, if you are preparing for TNPSC Assistant Engineer Civil Exam, you can enroll in our courses, course cover, ebook, question bank, mock test series and test pass feature. Link of our course is provided in description. Good brick should contain approximately how much aluminium? 5 to 10%, 20 to 30%, 50 to 60%, 70 to 80%. So the correct option is 20 to 30%. Ammonia impact plasticity to break earth, allowing brick to be molded properly. Excess ammonia causes shrinkage and wrapping. This ammonia in bricks is of 20 to 30%. Helps in shaping molding of bricks, improve workability of brick earth. Causes high shrinkage during drying if it used in excess. Lead to crack and wrapping in brick. And chemical formula this ammonia in brick is Al2O3. Present in clay as hydrated ammonia silicate. Why it is added? To provide facility, plasticity and facilitate molding. And if it is excess, cause shrinkage, cracking and wrapping. The principal ingredients responsible for the strength of brick are lime, iron oxide, silica, magnesia. So correct answer is silica. Silica prevents cracking and wrapping and contributes significantly to the strength and durability of brick. It constitutes 50 to 60%, prevents shrinkage, cracking and maintains shape. So the important responsible ingredient for strength is silica. Silica SiO2 percentage 50 to 60%. Function is to prevent shrinkage, cracking, wrapping and dry burning, maintain shape of earth, bricks, provide strength and durability. If too little silica, brick may crack, shrink and wrap. Too much silica become brittle and weak. The red color of brick is mainly due to lime, silica, alumina, iron oxide. So the correct option is iron oxide. Iron oxide gives the characteristic red color and improves the hardness of cement. Its constituent usually is 5 to 7%. Fe2O3. Fe2O3 function gives the brick its characteristic red color after burning and also increases strength and hardness. Standard modular size of brick in India is 190 size of 190 90 into 90 mm, 200 100 into 100 mm, 230 100 into 75 mm, 250 120 80 mm. So the correct answer is actual size for the modular brick is 190 90 into 90 mm, and when it's mortar it's 200. Which test is used to determine the hardness of brick? Impact test, soundness test, stress test, compression test. So the correct answer is scratch test. Scratch test should not show any visual mark, where brick do not show any visual mark when scratched within a fingernail. Okay, so in scratch test we scratch a brick, and if it show any visual mark, it is not good to use, and if it does not show any visual mark, it is good to use. What absorption of first class brick should not exceed? 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%. So the correct answer is 20%. First class brick should not absorb more than 20% of their dry weight after 24-hour immersion in water. So water absorption is calculated by W2 minus W1 upon W1 into 100, where W2 is water immersion weight, W1 is dry weight, and upon effluence in brick is caused by excess ammonia, soluble salt, excess silica, magnesia. So the correct answer is soluble salt. Soluble white deposit on brick surface are due to soluble salt carried by water. Effluence. What is effluence? It is in the appearance of white crystalline salt deposit on the surface of brick due to the presence of soluble salt. It occurs when water dissolves salt inside the brick and carries them to the surface. After the water evaporates, the salt remains as white powder. Its effect is spoil the appearance, cause deterioration. And which test is your IS 3495 part 3? 3495 part 3. The froth in a brick is provided to reduce weight, increase strength, hold mortar, improve appearance. So the correct answer is hold mortar. Froth is the depression on the top face of brick which improves bonding with mortar. Typical size for frog is 100 mm into 440 mm into 10 to 20 mm deep. It's contain manufacture mark also. Depression or indentation provided top surface of brick face. Help to hold mortar effectively. Which brick is manufactured without mortar? Option are without frog, sorry. Which brick is manufactured without frog? First class brick, engineering brick, modular brick, fire brick. So the correct answer is engineering brick. Engineering brick are often made without frog because of their high strength and dense structure. Frogs are engineering. Modular bricks, especially some modular bricks are also prepared without frog because they have perforation holes on a smooth surface. So the answer could be engineering brick also and modular brick also. A good brick when struck with another brick should produce dull sound, metallic ringing sound, hissing sound, no sound. So the correct answer is metallic ringing sound. A ringing sound indicates good quality and proper burning. When two bricks we hit, it's produce metallic ringing sound. Which cling is uh, considered continuous? Clamp cling, scotch cling, bull trench cling, intermediate cling. So the correct answer is bull trench cling. Bull trench cling operate continuously and widely used for large scale production. Bull trench cling is oval shaped or circular trench divided into sections. Bricks are arranged in trench and fire gradually move from one section to another. Fresh air enters through one end with hot gases passes through unburned brick, improving fuel efficiency. Advantage of a high production rate, better fuel economy, uniform quality, and disadvantage is initial construction cost is high, required skilled operation. Oven burnt brick are generally used for facing work, decorative work, aggregate in load bearing work. So the correct option is aggregate in concrete. Overburnt brick become brittle and are commonly used as aggregate. As it is overburnt, its appearance is not good, so we cannot use in decorative purpose. Overburnt strength is also decreased, so load bearing walls could be also not made. Facing work could be not done because generally it's overburnt and its color appearance are not good to be used, so it will make the structure dull. Compressive strength of first class brick should be at least 3.5 MPa, 7 MPa, 10.5 MPa, 20 MPa. So the correct answer is 10.5 MPa. Compressive strength first class brick generally possesses a minimum compressive about 10.5 MPa. Compressive strength is the maximum load of a brick can withstand per unit area before failure. It is determined by compression testing machine. It is determined by compression testing machine. Unit is Newton per mm square or MPa. 10.5 MPa for first class brick. Which brick is used for furnace laning? Sand lime brick, fly ash brick, fire brick, hollow brick. So correct option is fire brick. Fire brick can withstand very high temperature. For furnace lining, it requires high temperature, whereas fly ash fire brick can withstand very high temperature. What do you know about furnace laning? Furnace laning is inner protective layer of furnace made of refractory materials. It protects the furnace shell from high temperature and reduced heat. It also resists chemical attack and abrasion. Fly ash bricks are manufactured using clay only, fly ash, lime and gypsum, cement only, sand only. Fly ash, lime and gypsum. Fly ash brick are eco-friendly brick using fly ash, white, lime and gypsum. A byproduct obtained from thermal power plant. Advantage high compressive strength, uniform size and shape, lower water absorption, smooth surface, requiring less plaster, environment friendly. And disadvantage not suitable where continuous water exposure occur without proper protection, quality depend on fly ash and manufacturing process. Which test determine brick strength directly? Water absorption test, compression test, soundness test, shape test. So the correct answer is compression test. Compression test is measured using compression testing machine. It determines total compressive load which can be bear by the brick. So the test which determines brick strength directly is compressive test. The percentage of silica in good brick earth is 5 to 10%, 20 to 30%, 50 to 60%, or 80 to 90%. So the correct option is 50 to 60%. Silica form major constituent for brick 50 to 60%. Prevent excess shrinkage, prevent cracking, maintain shape, increase durability and strength. Effect is there brick become brittle and weak, brick may shrink, crack or break. Option C is correct. Which brick defects are caused by lime nodules? Black ores, crack, popping, efflorescence. So the correct answer is popping. Lime particles expand on hydration, causing the brick surface to break. Lime nodules are small lumps of lime present on brick earth due to improper mixing or incomplete grinding. Improper mixing or incomplete grinding. During burning, these nodules may remain unslacked. When the brick comes in contact with water, the lime hydrides expand and cause cracking or disintegration. Effect is their surface crack, pop out, reduce durability and resistance. Pop out means small pieces breaking off. What which type of bricks has perforation? Hollow brick, fire brick, engineering brick, or sandlite brick? So the correct option is hollow brick. Hollow bricks contain cavities that reduce weight and improve insulation. The holes reduce the weight of brick, improve burning efficiency during manufacture. What are their advantages? They are lightweighted, better thermal and sound insulation, requires less raw material, easier handling and transportation. Uses are there partition wall, non-load bearing wall, multi-source building would reduce dead load is desirable. Which of the following is not a field test for brick? Sound test, hardness test, compression test, shape test. Not a field test. Compression test is a laboratory test. Soundness test, hardness and shape test can be done on field directly, but compression test uses compressor testing machine. This test is performed to directly get out to know the strength of brick. The process of brick making starts with drying, burning, preparation of clay molding. So the correct option is preparation of clay. In first step, clay is prepared before molding and drying. So the process starts with preparation of clay. Which brick has higher strength? First class, second class, third class, fourth class. So the brick which has higher strength is first class. First class brick are table molded and clay burned with excellent quality. Is having the strength of 10.5 MPa. First class brick has highest strength in comparison to second, third and fourth. A brick should not break when dropped from height of 0. 0.5 meter, 1 meter, 1.5 meter, 2 meter. So a brick should not break when a drop from height of 1 meter. This is a common field test indicating adequate toughness. Mostly this height drop from a brick is tested in field to test its toughness. So the correct option is B, 1 meter. Brick should not break when dropped from a height of 1 meter. Which cling has highest efficiency among traditional cling? Clamp, Scotch cling, bull trench cling, open cling. So the correct option is bull trench cling. It allows continuous operation and fuel economy. Highest efficiencies and bull trench cling because it has continuous operation, also called continuous clinch. The main purpose of drying brick before burning is increase weight, remove moisture, increase color, increase porosity. So the correct option is remove moisture. Moisture removal prevent cracking and distortion during burning. Which constituent of brick act as flux during burning? Silica, alumina, lime, iron oxide. So the correct option is lime. Lime acts as flux and helps silica fuse during burning. increasing brick strength. Excess lime in brick earth cause cracking and disintegration. Increase strength only, better color only, reduce water absorption. So the correct answer is cracking and disintegration. Lime nodules expand up to hydration, causing popping and cracking. Excess lime in brick cause cracking and disintegration. The process of tempering in brick manufactures mean burning of brick, drying of brick, mixing clay with water thoroughly, storage of clay. So the correct answer is mixing clay with water thoroughly. Tempering make clay plastic as suitable for molding. For perfect molding, tempering is done. It is that mixing clay with water. Which type of brick is made by machine molding and clink burning? First class, second class, third class, fourth class. So the correct option is first class. First class bricks are well burnt, uniform and smooth structure. It has a strength of 10.5 MPa. Second class bricks are generally used for pre-stressed structure, exposed masonry work, ordinary building construction with plastering, furnace layering. Correct answer is ordinary building construction and plastering. Their surfaces are slightly irregular and usually require plaster. As for second class brick are slightly irregular structure and plastering is needed, so it is used mostly in ordinary building construction. Third class bricks are suitable for permanent structure, temporary structure, bridges, water tank. So the correct answer is temporary structure. Third class bricks are underburnt and has lower strength. What are the differentiation? First class, second class, third class. First class is best quality, well burnt, smooth structure. Second class is slightly irregular shape, moderate strength, used for plastering cover. Third class is poor burnt, soft and weak, irregular shape and size, used for temporary structure. Fourth class is overburnt, not suitable for construction, used in aggregate of road. Overburnt, not used for construction. Beside quality, bricks can also be grouped in material, manufacture and uses. Now what are the strengths? First class brick 10.5 MPa, second class brick 7 MPa, third class brick 3.5 MPa and fourth class is not used for structural work. That is used less than 3.5 MPa is considered in fourth class brick. And the IS code is required for this classification of brick is IS 1077. IS 1077. Fourth class bricks are generally used as facing brick, flooring brick, aggregate in road work and foundation, fire resistant brick. So as we have discussed earlier, fourth class bricks are comparatively of low strength and low quality. That is strength is of below 3.5 MPa. So it is used in aggregate in road work and foundation. These are oven burnt bricks are crushed and used as aggregate. These bricks are used as aggregate. And this classification is done on the basis of IS 1077. 1077. Which test determines the presence of soluble salt in brick? Water absorption test, efference test, impact test, sound test. So the correct answer is for presence of soluble salt in brick is done efference test. Efference is white deposit formed on brick due to the soluble salt presence. This test measures the salt deposit formed on brick surface. Salt deposit formed on brick surface. The percentage of water absorption allowed for high quality engineering brick is generally less than 7%, 20%, 25%, 30%. So the correct answer is less than 7%. Engineering bricks are dense and highly impermeable. These bricks do not have pores, so they are mostly have less water ability absorption. The most suitable brick for the damp proof course is DMP is hollow brick, engineering brick, third class brick or sand lime brick. So the correct option is engineering brick. Engineering brick possesses high strength and low water absorption. DMP is done to prevent moisture. Rich concrete cement just ratio 1:2:4 is used. Asphalt can also be used. Stone slab, DPF members or plastic polythene sheet can be used for this. Which brick is manufactured from sand and lime? Fire brick, fly ash brick, sand lime brick or hollow brick? So the correct option is sand lime brick. Sand lime bricks are produced by pressing sand and lime under pressure, steam pressure. What is this sand lime brick? Let's discuss. Sand lime brick is composition is approximately 88% to 92% sand and 8 to 12% lime. It is manufactured done by mixing sand and lime, pressing into mold and curing in autoclave under steam pressure. Color is usually white, grey or light color. Advantage: uniform shape size, smooth finish, good strength durability, good sound insulation. Used in masonry wall, decorative and facing work. Load bearing and non-load bearing structure it can be used. What are sand lime bricks? Sand lime bricks are also called calcium silicate brick. It is also called calcium silicate brick. The process of burning brick is carried on approximately 100 to 200, 300 to 500, 700 to 1200, 500 to 2000. The correct option is 700 to 1200. Proper vitrification occurs within this temperature range, within the range of 700 to 1200 degrees Celsius. Correct option for this our question is C. Which clink is temporary in nature? Bull French clink, Hoffman clink, clamp clink, Turner clink. So correct option is clamp clink. Clamp clink are temporary structure used for small scale production. What is this clamp clink? Clamp clink is a temporary used for burning brick. Feature made for stacking unburned brick. No permanent structure is required. Low construction cost is there. Suitable for small scale production. Advantage is simple and economical. Require less initial investment. What are disadvantages? Poor control over burning, non-uniform quality of brick, more fuel consumption and longer burning time. What are their uses? Commonly used in rural area. Hoffman clink belong to intermediate clink, continuous clink, temporary clink, or open clink. So the correct option is Hoffman clink belong to continuous clink. Hoffman clink allow continuous brick production with fuel efficiency. It is used for large scale manufacturing. For small scale we use clamp, and for large scale we use Hoffman. Consists of series of chamber arranged in an oval or circular form. Brick are continuously loaded and unloaded. Fire move from one chamber to another. Better temperature control, the clamp clink. Advantage is there, continuous operation is there. Uniformly burnt bricks are there. Higher fuel efficiency is there. Larger production capacity is there. What are the disadvantages? High initial cost is there required skilled operation. What is used for mass production? This Hoffman clink is used. Hoffman clink is a continuous brick burning clink consists of several interconnected chambers. It produces uniformly burnt brick with a better fuel efficiency and high production capacity. Better fuel efficiency and high production facility. For large scale production, Hoffman is there. That is continuous clink. The indentation provided on brick is called groove, frock, core, or notch. So the correct option for this is frock. Frock improve bond between brick and mortar. In brick, depression provided on a face of brick is called frock. Its rectangular top surface provided, usually 10 to 20 mm deep, help in proper bonding with mortar, often contain the manufacturer mark. On this frock there is a manufacturer mark given. The indentation provided top surface of brick is called frock. It improves the bond between brick and mortar and may contain manufacturer indentation mark. 10 to 20 mm depth is there. For this frock 10 to 20 mm depth. The usual depth of frock for standard brick is 5 to 10 mm, 10 to 20 mm, 25 to 40 mm, 50 mm. So as we discussed earlier, the depth for this frock is 10 to 20 mm. These help in mortar binding. Manufacturer mark is given on this frock. So correct option is B, 10 to 20 mm, generally about 10 to 20 mm deep. The standard brick frock depth is there. Which property of brick is tested by immersing them in water for 24 hours? Strength, durability, water absorption, hardness. So for the immersion of brick for 24 hours, which property is tested? Is water absorption. Firstly, we calculate dry weight of brick, then we calculate water immersed weight, and then the difference gives the water absorption. Increase in weight after immersion gives water absorption. It tells how much water is absorbed by the brick. A brick that absorbs excessive water is durable, unsuitable for construction, fire resistant or waterproof. correct option is unsuitable for construction. This absorption excessive water causes high reduced durability and strength, due to which it is becoming unsuitable for construction work. Which of the following brick is eco-friendly? First class brick, fly ash brick, fire brick or engineering brick? The correct option is fly ash brick. Fly ash brick utilize industrial waste and reduce clay consumption. Why this fly ash brick is eco-friendly? Because it's sustainable development. Fly ash is a waste product obtained from industrial waste. From industrial waste, this is a waste product obtained, fly ash. Thus, this makes the brick sustainable and it's called eco-friendly. We call it eco-friendly. The shape of good brick should be irregular, circular, rectangular with sharp edges, triangular. So the correct option is rectangular with sharp edges. Uniform shape ensure proper masonry bonding. Thus, this proper shape help in the proper bonding. Thus, which make the shape of brick good and provide utmost strength to the brick. The crushing strength of common building brick generally range between 1 to 3 MPa, 3.5 to 35 MPa, 15 to 80 MPa or above 100. So it generally lies between 3.5 to 35 MPa. Strength varies according to brick class. For first class brick it is 10.5 MPa. For first class it is 10.5 MPa. For second class it is 7 MPa. For second class it is 7 MPa. For third class it is 3.5 MPa. And for fourth class it is below 3.5 MPa. For fourth class below 3.5 MPa is called ranges for strength. Black core in brick is caused by excessive burning, insufficient burning and lack of oxygen, excess lime, excess silica. Black core in brick is caused by insufficient burning and lack of oxygen. Carbonaceous matter remain unburnt inside the brick. This is the reason that insufficient burning and lack of oxygen, black core in brick is caused. Which of the following brick is light in weight? Engineering brick, solid brick, hollow brick, first class. So the correct option is hollow brick. Hollow brick is light in weight because it has cavity which reduce the cell weight of masonry. Light weighted bricks are also called hollow brick. The main advantage hollow bricks are high density, better insulation and reduced dead load, higher water absorption, lower durability. So the correct option is better insulation and reduced dead. Hollow brick provide thermal insulation and reduce structural load. As this hollow brick have pores present in them, so they reduce structural load because they are light weighted. and this also a reason for thermal insulation. According to IS classification, class 10 brick possesses a minimum compressive strength of 3.5, 5, 7.5, 10. So the class 10 brick 10 MPa. Oh, sorry. In this class 10, this will be not there. Class 1. Class 1 brick possesses a minimum compressive strength of 10 MPa or 10.5 MPa. 10.5 MPa. Which of the following constituent prevent shrinkage and wrapping in brick? Alumina, silica, lime, iron oxide. Correct option is silica. Silica maintains the shape of bricks, prevent excessive shrinkage, cracking and wrapping during drying and burning. It present in 40 to 50%. So the shrinkage and wrapping is constituent prevented by this presence of silica. The standard actual size of modular brick is 200, 100, 100, 190, 90, 90, 230 into 100 into 70, 250, 120 into 60. So the answer is 190, 90, 90. The actual modular brick size is 190, 90 into 90. With mortar, the size becomes 200 into 100 into 100. Frog indentation is of 10 to 20 depth. And this brick size is standard size is this 190, 90, 90, and with mortar 200, 100. Which test is performed to assess the uniformity of brick structure? Soundness, structure, hardness, water absorption. So the correct answer for this is which test is performed to assess the uniformity of brick structure is structure test. A brick is broken and examined for uniform texture, compactness and absence of void. A brick is broken, examined for uniform texture, compactness and absence of void. So this structure test is called uniformity test. A good quality brick when broken should show large cavity, lamination and cracks, uniform and compact structure, soft interior. So the correct option for is good quality of brick when broken should show uniform and compact structure. Uniform texture, crack without cracks or void indicate proper manufacturing. This uniform and compact structure is shown from good quality brick. Which brick is most best suited for load bearing wall in multi-story building? Third class hollow engineering sun-dried. For load bearing walls, engineering bricks are highly used because they have high compressive strength, low water absorption. This third class brick is not used for load bearing. For load bearing, first class brick can be used. First class brick can be used for load. And if the first class brick option is not given, we gonna stick engineering brick. What are engineering brick? Engineering brick can be defined special manufactured brick having high compressive strength, low water absorption, high durability. Very high strength, low porosity. Water absorption in this type of brick is less than 7%. Resistance to dampness, chemicals and frost. Uses are there for this: foundation, retaining walls, sewer manhole, DPC, heavy engineering work. This also classified into two class, A or B. For class A, higher strength, class B, slightly lower strength. For class A, water absorption is less than 4.5% and for class B, less than 7%. The green brick are burnt brick, dried but unburnt brick, overburnt brick, fire brick. Green brick are dried but unburnt brick. Before burning are known as green brick. Green brick are brick that has been molded but not yet dried, but burnt in a kiln. Contain high moisture, soft and weak, cannot be used for construction. Require drying before burning. Clay preparation, molding, green brick, drying, burning in kiln, finished brick. This is the manufacturing stage. Green brick is newly molded brick that has not yet been dried or burnt. It is soft, contain moisture and not suitable for construction until properly fired. The green brick are, again this question is repeated, burnt brick, dry but unburnt brick, over burnt brick, fire brick. So the correct option is B. There is a mistake in this question. Green bricks are bricks that has been molded but not yet dried, but burnt in a clay. It can be not yet dried. See, in this green brick, drying is not also done and burnt is also not there. So these both are not there. In green brick, not dried, not burnt. Okay. So option B is correct. Not dried, not yet dried. We're gonna write here not yet dried. Not yet dried. Which of the following is not a constituent of good brick earth? Silica, alumina, iron oxide, sodium chloride. So the correct option is not a constituent of good brick earth is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is harmful salt that causes effluence and should not be present. This is sodium chloride is harmful salt due to which the effluent form. Effluence is a white structure, something moisture present on the brick, which make it appearance dull and also strength and durability also decrease due to this effluence. The thermal conductivity of hollow brick is high, very high, low, infinite. The thermal conductivity of hollow brick is low. Air cavities inside. Hollow brick provide good thermal insulation. What are these hollow bricks? Hollow bricks are bricks that have pores present on it. Their characteristics are light-weighted, good thermal insulation, good sound insulation. Thermal is also high. Thermal insulation provide good thermal insulation and also provide good sound insulation. Faster construction due to lower dead load. Lower material consumption is also there in this type of brick. Use for this brick is partition wall, non-load bearing wall, multi-storage building. Advantages are for this is reduce structure load, better heat and sound insulation, better heat and sound and economical transportation. Excess iron oxide in brick earth may result in excess iron oxide is reason for the color in the brick, as we know. Dark blue or black brick, white brick, green brick, soft brick. So the answer is dark blue or black brick. Excess iron oxide can produce darker color brick after burning. What are the brick composition? Brick composition is silica 50 to 60%, silica 50 to 60%, silica 50 to 60%, lime 10 to 5%, alumina 20 to 30%, iron oxide 5 to 7%, and magnesia less than 1%. The silica help in prevent cracking, shrink and wrapping. Alumina give plasticity. Lime for increased hardness, iron oxide for color, and magnesia gives yellow tint and reduce shrinkage. Percentage is there, silica 50 to 60 higher percent, alumina 20 to 30. Iron oxide, this percentage is 5 to 7%. For iron oxide 5 to 7%, and for magnesia it's less than 1%. Which of the following properties is most important for brick used in sewage structure? Appearance, low water absorption and chemical resistance, color uniformity, smooth surface only. So which property most important for brick are low water absorption for sewage one. Brick exposed to sewage and chemical must resist moisture penetration and chemical attack. For this sewage, mostly important is of low water absorption chemical resistance. So let's have short summary for this all brick question. First is compositions. For silica is 50 to 60%, ammonia 20 to 30%, lime 5 to 10%, iron oxide 5 to 7%, magnesia 1%. Color of brick is due to iron oxide. What is green brick? That is brick not dried, not burnt. Frog is indentation present on the top surface of brick. Its depth is of 10 to 20 mm. What are the standard size of brick with mortar? 200 into 100 into 100 mm. Without mortar, 190 into 90 into 90 mm. What is effluence? Effluence is white deposit present on brick. Compressive strength for brick, first class 10.5, second class 7, third class 3.5 and fourth class less than 3.7. What are the types of brick? Engineering brick, sand lime brick, fly ash brick, hollow brick, perforated brick. Hollow bricks are lightweight bricks with cavities, whereas perforated bricks contain holes to reduce weight. Both are different. What are clink? They are clamp clink, Hoffman clink, bull trench clink. Clamp clink, temporary one for small production. Hoffman, continuous one, high production. Bull trench clink is continuous clink, commonly used for large production. This bull trench is now commonly we have using defect, lime nodules, effluence or wrapping. Subscribe our channel Engineering Pedia Education for TNPSC Assistant Engineers Civil Exam classes.